Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. I hope you're all going to have a fabulous day, and we're up again with more from Mango Craft. So today this stamp set, and I'm only using that stamp. The reason I'm only using that stamp is because it's a good size, and I wanted to use this sentiment, which is merry and bright. So when you put the two together, you can see just how big, you know, you've got stuff going on. And I've also used the die that comes and matches that stamp. I'm going to be using 3 tri-blends, and I haven't got a clue what colour they are. So just to be helpful, dark red, citrus blend and orange blend if you've got these. Right, so I've got those 3 markers. I'll move this out of the way because I've already been organised. And I've done a card base, and I've used Carter Bella Merry Christmas paper pack from Snap Click Supply, and it's that one, and I've printed it out so you can see you've got your sort of pine needles and berries going on there, and onto a white base. And I do apologise for the lighting. I have done my Merry and Bright, and I've actually done it in gold foil, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure that I like it that much. It's embossed, can you see that? But it's embossed in weird places, so I left it anyway. And I love the sentiment, but I'm not sure about my choice of cardstock, but that's going to go onto there. Now I can tell you, if I grab my ruler, that the size of this card is 4 3/4, and then I'll go across so that you can see, and it's 6 1/8, so it's a fraction over 6 inches. So you kind of like get the feel for just how big these elements are. Now I have stamped and pre-cut out my little birdie, so let's see how close we can go. There we are. And I must tell you, I'm not the neatest of people when it comes to cutting out stamps, so I'm quite good at fussy cutting. When it comes to laying down a die, I can be pretty useless. So, having admitted to that, now in the Merry and Bright set comes a little set of Christmas lights, and I did try and fancy them up a bit. So I cut those in gold foil, and I used some, let's grab it, some glossy accents, and underneath it I put some liquid pearls, and this is in ruby red, but I'm not sure whether these are going to be dry by the time I finish the card. But even if they're not, I'm still going to try and glue them on, because it'd be quite fun to have a disaster. So I'm putting those over there. Right, so the first thing I want to do is kind of size up, because I know I'm having my little lights at the top, and I want my birdie sitting there. So that looks about right for my Merry and Bright, and I'm just going to get that into the middle. And once again, I apologise for my throat. We've got a hideous pollen, and I think it affects everyone actually. So I'm just squiggling and wiggling. And I did actually mount my gold cardstock onto white cardstock just to make it a little bit thicker, and also in places just to give a little bit of white, hopefully, that's going to be peeking out, because it's quite a dark background paper. So I'm thinking about there. And it is a wibbly wobbly sentiment, so it's not perfectly straight, and I think that's really nice about it, that you got like little bits leaning in and out. It's just cheerful. It's a great one for doing cute characters. So there I've got my Merry and Bright, and it's all looking rather traditional is the word I would use. Right, and now I'm putting the top back in. As soon as I get that piece of glue off it, and pop that there. Right, so we need to colour in the birdie. No, I've just forgotten my scruffy mat. Hang on a second. Right, so what I did was I stood up and found a scrap of cardstock instead. So I'm just going to put that under there to stop any alcohol ink from bleeding through. Now this one is a really easy one because you basically only need 3 colours. Now I'm going to go into the eye with the lightest shade on this pen. And then I'm going to put a little bit of orange in. And I believe this one is the lightest. No, that's mid. Yeah. Let's go in with the light. And then I'm going in with my yellow again. Just push that around just so that you get the shade that you want. And then I'm also going to put some of this yellow in on the beak. As I said, you know, this one is really easy to do because there's just so few colours that you need. I'm going to put some orange in there, and then I'm going to push that out as well using the yellow. Darken that up a bit. One of the things you actually find in this set of marker pens is that you don't get a deep yellow. And I've owned quite a few of these sets over the years, and it's quite surprising. You kind of get like a citrus blend, or you get a pale yellow. You never seem to get like a deep sunshine yellow. There, that's going to do me for the beak. And now we need to do the red, but I'm also going to be using some light orange just in the chest area. So we can already see the stamp marks there where we've gone in. And now I'm going in with my light red. And one of the things you can usually be sure about with a red marker is that you're going to bleed outside of the edges. It's just one of those colours that absolutely saturates things. So I'm just going down with my light, and you can still see your inking underneath. I hope you can see that. Which is why when you travel, you don't want to go too close to your stamped edge. Because you will find it will absolutely run there. Now I'm going back into my yellow, and I'm using my light yellow, and I'm also going into that orange bit, because cardinals aren't really what you would call a true solid red, and I get lots of them that come into my garden. They're really pretty birds. I want to put some yellow in there before I go into my red. And you can see I'm using like just sweeping motions. If you're ever colouring in a big solid block of anything, you know, the best way to get your colour down is to just go round and round like that in small circles. I'm doing this. Right, and now I'm going in with my light red again. I always go quiet when I'm colouring. I think a lot of people do actually, because it's just so therapeutic, isn't it? It is relaxing. So I'm going totally silent on you now. Oh dear. now I want to put in a little bit of dark red, which is usually found at the other end of these markers. Whoops. Well, that slipped out of my hand. And then I'm going all over with my pale yellow. Or shall I say my citrus blend. And this time I'm going to use the dark, because I want to get some colour down into those legs as well. So I'm just going all over it. So we've got lots of colour going on in our birdie. Ooh, I hope that you can see all this. This is one of those stamps as well that would look absolutely gorgeous done in watercolour. I'm going in yellow where the tips would get some light. And there's my birdie. And I'm quite happy to leave it just like that. And I haven't gone into any of the white area. I've stayed within my stamp line. Now, what I want to do with my birdie is pop it up on foam pads. I'm just going to flip that over. Oh, I'm trying to think the best position. Yeah, I'm going to have one there, and then I'll cut this one down. Just reach over and get my scissors. I'm going to be planting up some guava trees today. That's what I'm going to be doing. And one of my fruits that I had in the spring, I took all the seeds out of it and they all came up, so I'm very pleased with that. And I do love pink guava. So hopefully I'm going to get some more plants. And at some point I've got to take a bunch of elderberry cuttings so that I can make myself some more elderberry syrup, which I absolutely love. Right, so my little birdie is going to sort of perch itself there upon the Merriam Bright, and then I'm going to bring this in, and I can see that there are still elements that are a little bit cloudy, which means they're wet, and I'm going to try and get it on there really delicately. Yes, it might be wishful thinking, but I'm going to try it anyway. So I'm going to very carefully grab it with tweezers. Ooh. So I'm actually dipping it. I'm holding it firm. And now I'm going to try and stick it down. And I know that I want it about there. Oh, I think I had success, and I promise you I'm not going to touch it. I won't go sticking my fingers into it, but I think that's in about the right place. I've got a little bit of wet glue there that you can see, which is that bit there, but I'm not going to worry about that because it will dry clear. So I've got my dimensional little Christmas lights. I've got my Cardinal Birdie and I've got my Merry and Bright. And that is what I have for you today. Right, I thank you so much for joining me. As usual, all links below, and I will be up with more from Mango Craft tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye.